Hello everyone! In this tutorial I'm showing you how to sew the rose dress, a super versatile pattern that you can customize exactly to your style. I'll be making the long version with shirred waist and a slit today, but this pattern also includes options for a top, 2 other dress lengths and your choice of a shirred or elasticated waist. And of course there's an option to add pockets to the dress versions. You can find the rose pattern in my Etsy store, linked in the description below. You should have the following pattern pieces: skirt front, skirt back, bodice upper front, bodice upper back, pockets if you want to add pockets, the elastic casings 1 and 2 front and back, and the straps front and back. If you make the rose top, you should have the bodice lower front and back instead of the skirt pieces. Take one of your bodice upper back pieces and place it with the right side facing you. Take now one of your front pieces and place it with the right side facing down, so the right sides are facing each other, and pin in place. Now take the mirrored front piece and align it at the other side seam. Pin this one in place as well. And repeat the same steps for the other bodice upper back and front pieces. Now sew with a straight stitch using a 1 cm or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. Go to your ironing board and press the just sewn seams open. Fold them with the good sides facing each other. Fold them in half lengthwise. And I always recommend pressing it then, because that makes it neater when you sew. Repeat the same for the other. Back strap. So we're going to take a strap and now we're going to measure 1 cm from the folded edge, so the edge that is closed. So I'll put mine here at 1 or 3/8 of an inch, and then I'll press it down and then follow here with the folded edge. As you can see, there is quite a lot of seam allowance left, so we're going to trim it to reduce bulk when turning it inside out. Use a loop turner or small safety pin to turn them right sides out. Press all the straps after you've turned them right sides out. But if turning the narrow straps feels difficult, you can use the method that we use for making bias tape as well to create straps. So you fold the fabric from both long sides towards the middle, then fold the fabric again and press. and top stitch to secure the strap. Take one of your bodice upper pieces and place it with the right sides facing you. Now check which are the back straps. The back straps are way shorter than the front straps, so we need the back straps. Place the back straps at the indicated places and pin them in place. Now we're going to sew here and here with a 0.5 cm or a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Place your bodice upper piece, the one with the attached back straps, right sides facing you. Make sure that the straps are facing down. Place the other upper piece on top, right sides together and pin in place. But leave the bottom part open. Start by matching the seams and then pin the rest in place as well. At the front pieces, mark 1.5 cm and 3 cm from top, or 5/8 of an inch and 1/3/16 of an inch as shown here, or use the notches that are marked on your sewing pattern and transfer those on your pattern piece. So all the way from here, but then between the two marks we don't sew. So we'll sew until here, then start here again, then sew here, then leave here open, start here again, and then sew all the way around. And then here until the mark again, then leave this part open, then start here again, and then we're going to continue sewing until the channel again, then leave it open, and we're going to sew here. When we reach a mark, backstitch, then skip the channel, don't sew there, then start again at the other mark and backstitch again, and then continue sewing. When we reach a mark again, repeat the same steps as just shown before. Before you turn your pattern piece with the right sides facing out, cut some notches into the seam allowance along the armholes to make turning easier. I always like to trim some excess fabric at the front and back corners as well. And then turn the bodice upper piece right side out. Make sure to press everything afterwards. We're going to start at the back. Top stitch the upper edge 0.5 cm or 1/4 inch from the top. Then mark a second line 2 cm or 3/4 of an inch from the top. This will be to create a tunnel for the elastic. At your pattern piece there's a marking until where to sew your back channel. So make sure you don't sew it all the way through, because from the inside of the back we need to be able to insert the elastic. So make sure you transfer the marking onto your fabric. For the two front pieces we're gonna repeat the same steps we just did for the back piece. So we're gonna top stitch 0.5 cm or 1/4 inch from the edge. And then we're gonna make a second row 2 cm from top. Mark this and then we're gonna sew that as well. Let's start sewing from here, so from the edge of the strap. Now cut your 1 cm or 3/8 of an inch wide elastic to the indicated length for your size. You can find these measurements in the written instructions at step 7. Attach some safety pins to both ends of the elastic. So you have 2 layers of the back piece. I'm gonna open it up and then gonna put it in and then turn it around. And make sure that your safety pin isn't too thick, otherwise you won't get through. Make sure that elastic won't twist, and then we're gonna put it in. And I like to check, okay, here it's almost at the end. When it's there, I can put it a bit further. We're gonna sew here a straight stitch. Take a pin to secure the elastic, then take your safety pin out. Continue pulling the other side through, and then stitch this in place as well. Take one of your front straps, attach the safety pin, and thread it through the front channel. One end of the strap functions as the shoulder strap, while the other end is tied in the middle at the bust. Repeat for the other strap on the opposite side. Place the two front upper pieces on top of each other with the outside of the fabric facing, so that will become your right side of the fabric. Mark 4 cm or 1 5/8 of an inch from the bottom edge. And sew between the bottom edge and this mark using a 1 cm or 3/8 of an inseam allowance. Fold the just sewn seam to one side and from the right side of the fabric top stitch in place. So this means sew a straight vertical line, then at the 4 cm mark make a short horizontal stitch to secure the seam. Take your two skirt pieces and finish the side seams using an overlocker or a zigzag stitch on a regular sewing machine. Should be able to see the notch, otherwise mark it, the notch for the pocket. If you make the version without pockets, skip the following steps and just sew the two skirt pieces together at both side seams and press the seams open afterwards. In this version I'll be adding pockets, so overlock the 4 pocket pieces as well. Apparently I forgot to film the next step, but take the front skirt piece with the right side facing you and place one of the pocket pieces at the indicated notch, right sides facing each other and pin in place. Repeat for the second pocket on the other side of the front piece and sew with a 0.5 cm or 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now repeat the same steps to attach the pockets to the back skirt piece. Then press the seams towards the pockets. Top stitch the pockets. Place the front and back skirt pieces on top of each other. Make sure the right sides are facing each other. Pin the side seams and around the pockets. Make sure to start with aligning the pocket pieces correctly, then pin the rest of the side seams in place. Repeat on the other side as well. Now sew with a 1 cm or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. sew the side seams. When you reach a pocket, continue sewing for 1 cm or 3/8 of an inch more. Leave the needle down, turn the fabric around, then continue sewing the pockets. I always like to backstitch at the pockets for some extra strength. Repeat the same process at the bottom of the pocket, then continue sewing the rest of the side seam. Press the just sewn seams open. Place your skirt piece with the right side facing out and the top pointing up. I always mark which side of the skirt piece is the back and which is the front. Now take your bodice upper piece and turn it with the inside facing you. Flip it upside down and place it around the skirt piece so that the skirt piece is inside the upper piece. Make sure to match the front of the bodice upper piece with the front of the skirt piece and the back with the back. Start with aligning the side seams. Make sure that the seams are still pressed open. Pin the rest in place. Once we pinned everything in place, we're going to sew with a 1 cm or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance from the raw edge. And I'm going to sew it all around. If you make version 1, the top, and 3, the dress, with shirred waist, finish the raw edges with an overlocker or zigzag stitch on a regular sewing machine. If you make the rose top instead of the dress, I recommend hemming your top now. So we're going to fold to the wrong side of the fabric, 0.5 cm or 1/4 inch, then press, and then we're going to fold another 0.5 cm or 1/4 inch and press again, and then we're going to sew. Right side out and press the just sewn seams towards the waist, so downwards. Place 0.5 cm or 1/4 inch from the seam. In the presser foot with the seam, put your needle to the right and start sewing. For the versions with the shirred waist, take your elastic thread and an empty bobbin and hand wind it with the elastic thread. Make sure you don't stretch the elastic while doing this. Then you have a bobbin with elastic thread. Take your normal bobbin out, place it with the stretchy one. So we're gonna leave normal thread on top, and then we're gonna set this one to the longest setting you have. With me that's 4. The right side of the fabric, elastic bobbin thread will be visible and needs to be inside of the dress. Row with a 1 cm or 3/8 of an inch distance from the top stitching line. More gathering, put your finger behind the presser foot like this. I always tie a knot in the 2 ends of the elastic for some extra security. Sew a second row 1 cm or 3/8 of an inch below the first. Then leave a 2 cm or 3/4 of an inch gap and sew 2 more rows of shirring. Each spaced 1 cm or 3/8 of an inch apart. Steam the shirred panel to allow the elastic to shrink and gather evenly. Now we're gonna continue with the waist channels. I always like to mark which is which. So this is the front, the second waist channel. This is the back, the second waist channel. So we're gonna place them with the right sides together on top of each other, and we're gonna sew the short ends together, the 1 cm seam allowance. For attaching the first waist channel, I recommend folding one of the sides over by 1 cm or 3/8 of an inch. Okay, now we're gonna take our top and make sure that we're gonna fold it inwards. Bodice pieces are falling over the lower bodice pieces. Now we take our waist channel number 1 and we're gonna place it around the top. I'm gonna start with aligning the side seams and pin in place. Pin in place well, and then pin the rest in place as well. And then we're going to sew with a 1 cm or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance all around. our top. I'm gonna trim something off the just sewn seam. Now we're gonna fold the waist channel over. I recommend pressing it because that makes it easier. And now we're gonna top stitch here with a 0.5 centimeter or 1/4 inch seam. I always like to put my needle to the left and then align it here, and then you can sew close to this line. We reach the end, make sure to leave a gap of a few centimeters so we can insert the elastic lip. And folding one of the sides over by 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch. We're gonna also fold the other side with 1 centimeter in. Fold both sides towards the wrong side of the fabric, so we created a channel. We're gonna take our top piece and we're gonna grab our second channel, waist channel, and now make sure to match the front with the front and the back with the back. Our fabric spacing along the marks. Before final attachment, check that waist channel 2 still matches your top or dress. Some fabrics may stretch slightly during sewing and handling. If needed, unpick the short end seams, trim any excess length and rejoin before attaching. Now we're gonna attach the second waistband. And we're gonna top stitch 0.5 centimeter or 1/4 inch from this side, and also 0.5 centimeter or 1/4 inch from this side, and then sew all around. The first row we can just sew completely, and then the second row we need to leave a gap. At the end, leave a few centimeters open to can insert the elastic. Use the elastic indication in the written instructions for the length of the 2 elastics for the waist channels. Now take 2 safety pins. Don't put it in your finger, and attach to both sides of the elastic. I'll start with waist channel 1, and that's here, and then we're gonna insert the elastic. Now make sure that the elastic is not twisted, and I always like to pin it in place with a safety pin for now and then try it on. I'll repeat the same process with the second waist channel. need to close the gap again, so with a straight stitch close the gaps, both gaps. Then from the right side of the fabric, secure the elastic in place on the side seams, so in this channel, and on the other side. Turn your dress with the right side facing out. Place the facing on top of the dress, right sides facing, and align it with the slit marking and pin in place. Take your printed skirt front pattern piece and mark the slit again, this time on the wrong side of the facing, so the side that is facing you. Sew along the marked slit line, then take one stitch across the tip, horizontal, then pivot and sew the second line. Carefully cut along the center of the slit, so between the two stitching lines, and stop just before the end of the stitching. Trim the excess fabric from the facing, following the shape of the slit. Make sure to leave approximately 2 cm or 3/8 of an inseam allowance outside of the stitching lines. Fold the raw edges of the facing inwards by 1 cm or 3/8 of an inch and press. Then fold once more by 1 cm or 3/8 of an inch to enclose the raw edges and press again. At the top of the slit, fold the facing inwards in the same way and press neatly. Then sew with a straight stitch to secure the facing. The last step you have to do is hem the bottom edge. Try on the dress and decide on your preferred length. At first, the fit may look slightly off or not as expected, but this is normal. Once you start adjusting the drawstrings, shifting the front panel slightly and tightening or loosening the ties, the intended silhouette will become visible. This design is meant to be flexible, so feel free to experiment until you are happy with the result. And yay! You made your rose pattern. I really hope you enjoyed sewing it and also enjoy wearing it a lot.